Welcome to Sanco Machinery
YouTube channel.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, in this YouTube channel we are going to talk mostly about confectionery business.
Alright.
And mainly for
The Wafer Stick.
Okay, before we are going to talk deeper about that, my name is Aditya.
And my name is Arif.
And we're going to talk about Wafer Stick.
Right.
Alright Arif.
Yes.
There are so many products in confectionery industry.
Yep.
And why is Wafer Stick is important? And what is Wafer Stick?
Alright. In order to answer that, Aditya, we have to know what is the definition of the wafer stick itself.
Yep.
So, practically speaking, wafer stick is a wafer with the round shape like this and the filling inside like this, Aditya. And this is the wafer, the outer skin of the wafer, and there is inside is a filling. For the filling, you can choose. You can choose for the chocolate filling, vanilla filling, or anything of filling that you want, right? And for the theoretically speaking, the wafer stick itself is a wafer seed, and then where there is a baking process, rolling process, and also filling process, Aditya. So that's why you can see in here the shape is like this, Aditya. And answering that equation is why wafer stick is highly important for us to discuss in here. You know, wafer stick is a part of confectionery products.
Yeah.
You agree, right? And then for the confectionery product itself is highly demanded by the people, Aditya. Alright. And for your information, in 2018, the market size for the wafer stick or the confectioneries is reaching 190 billion US dollar.
Wow.
Right? And in 2026, the market share is reaching 245 billion US dollar.
145 billion.
Yes, exactly. So that's why this is important for us to discuss confectionery, especially wafer stick, in order to give idea for our viewers in here where they want to invest their money. Right? Yes.
Okay, but when we see these wafer rolls, or wafer stick we call it,
Yes.
what makes a good wafer stick? And
Right.
how to differ the good wafer stick and the bad one?
Alright. So, Aditya, that's a good question actually. Okay, first of all, maybe we can test some of the wafer stick in here, right?
Okay.
Let's test it.
So I'm going to crunch it, crust it.
Yeah, you can test it. Okay.
It has a taste of sweetness
Yeah.
and also the crunchiness.
Yes. So that's why people is very love it to eat it, right? To share with their family, right? Okay. So basically, in order to classify it is good wafer stick or not, there are several parameters in order for us to discuss, Aditya. So the first is we are going to talk about the taste itself. When we are talking about the taste, we're gonna talk about the recipe, right? The second thing is about the crunchiness. Like what you did previously, you break it right, and it's quite crunchy enough, right? And the third thing is about the precision. How can we measure that the size of or the length of the wafer stick is same? Because we're gonna talk about the efficiency of the productions, right? And the last thing is we're gonna discuss about the product scope. From the wafer stick, what kind of others alternative product that we can make. So that is the four parameters that we're gonna talk. And in this video, we're gonna discuss about the recipe, Aditya.
The recipe first.
Yes.
Because it plays a very important roles.
Exactly, Aditya. So in here, we already prepared some of the materials of the wafer stick itself, right? The first is we have the water, we have the sugar, we have the salt, we have the vanilla powder, we have the lecithin, we have the palm oil, we have the wheat flour, we have the food coloring, and we have the chocolate compound for the filling, Aditya. Okay. First of all, we're gonna discuss about step by step, okay? During the mixing, we're gonna talk about the wafer skin first for the recipe.
Okay.
Okay.
So it is the outer space.
Outers.
Not for the fillings.
No, not yet. We're gonna into that. But for the first is we're gonna discuss about the wafer skin first.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. The first step is we need to prepare the water, right? In here, make sure that the water is drinkable. And also make sure that the temperature of the water is cold within 12 degrees Celsius in here, Aditya.
20 degrees Celsius.
Okay. Do you know why the reason we need to prepare cold water temperature in here?
it is to maintain for the freshness of the batter.
Yes, yes, exactly. More than that, that why we need to prepare the cold water temperatures is in order to prevent the premature of the wheat flour in here that we already preparing in Aditya.
Okay.
So we can keep the protein there. Besides that, we know that the inside of the mixer there will be a friction, right?
Yeah.
So that's why the temperature of the dough will be higher. So that's why by preparing the cold water temperature, we will keep the protein still in the dough, right? The second thing is the sugar in here. For the sugar, we don't have any specific requirement. You can use for the granule sugar, or you can use the powder sugar. The next is the salt in here, regular salt, Aditya.
Just regular salt.
Regular salt, and also for the vanilla powder in here, Aditya. And last is for the next step is the palm oil in here.
Palm oil.
Yeah.
There are certain countries that are not allowing the use of the palm oil. Can we do a substitute for the palm oil?
Yes. So that's why in here we are looking for the easy material that we can find in the market, Aditya. If you cannot access for the palm oil, you can find for the substitute. For instance, like sunflower oil, coconut oil, or the vegetable oil, Aditya. Yes. Okay. So after you prepare for these 5 materials, you need to mix it in the mixer for the 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. The next material after we mix these 5 materials in 5 minutes, we need to put the lecithin in here. Yeah. Do you know why the reason we need to prepare the lecithin?
It is to combine between the oil and also the water.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why we prepare the lecithin in here is as the homogenizer.
Homogenizer.
Yeah, you know between the palm oil and also the water is cannot combine very easily.
Okay.
So that's why we need lecithin in order to homogenize. Okay. The next is the wheat flour in here. There is specific requirement that we need for the wheat flour. We need to have high gluten percentage of the wheat flour, which is minimum 35%. Do you know why?
Proteins will act as to maintain the flexibility when it is in the rolling process or something.
Exactly, Aditya, 100% for you. 100%. And this one is the liquid flour, right? Why I need to have a high percentage of the gluten? Because the flexibility. In the wafer stick machine, there is a rolling process, right? In order to make sure that the rolling is good, we need to have very flexible butter seed or those wafer seed. So that's why the high gluten is necessarily important in here, Aditya. Okay, the next step is we need to prepare the food color. In here, I prepare for the red colors, but basically you can choose any kind of the colors that you want. Depends on your market. Okay, and then after all, you put it in the turbo mixer and then you mix it for the next 5 minutes. Yeah. So that is for the mixing process in the turbo mixer, Aditya.
So about the mixing process. Can I use any type of mixers that is available in the market?
Sadly to say that we cannot use regular mixer, Aditya.
Okay.
Because we need to have specific turbo mixer in here, which is to have the high speed performance. Without that, we cannot make wafer materials very easily, Aditya.
Okay.
Okay, Aditya. If you talk about the wafer stick, it's not fair if only talk about the skin, right?
Yep.
We also need to talk about the
fillings.
filling itself, Aditya. Basically, in here we are prepared for the chocolate filling in here, right? And basically, for the customer, for your information is that for the filling, it depends on the market. You can choose for the chocolate filling, vanilla filling, strawberry fillings, or hazelnut filling, like for the
any type of fillings.
Any type of filling.
Okay, as long as it is a paste form.
Yes.
Like it is looks like.
Yeah. This is actually a paste form in here, right? If we talk about the technicalities of this filling cream, is we need to have the fineness around 30 or 32 micron, Aditya.
Okay.
Yes, and also the viscosity is high viscous.
High viscous.
High viscous, so that's why the form is like paste, chocolate paste, right? Yeah. Okay. Regarding about the filling, we're gonna share you a little bit about the recipe for the chocolate filling, Aditya. In here, we are preparing the ready use of the filling, but maybe you can use in the table right here. Okay, you can use you can see in somewhere on your screen that there is a table of the recipe in here. Basically, the recipe for the filling is the first is you need to prepare the vegetable oil, right? For sure, you can use the substitute.
Substitute.
Yeah, substitute instead of palm oil.
So we can use sunflower oil, vegetable
Exactly.
oil, coconut oil.
Yes,
possible.
exactly, Aditya. The second is you need to prepare shortening, lecithin, and also the salt, right? All right, Aditya. For your information, for the filling itself, we usually use a special mixer in here, Aditya.
Special mixer.
Yeah. Basically, it is not a mixer, but it is a grinding machine.
A grinding machine, yeah.
Usually, in the confectionery manufacturer, we usually call this machine as a ball mill machine. Yeah. Okay. Just imagine we have the ball mill machine in here. Okay. The first is we need to put the vegetable oil in here, Aditya. Okay. The second is shortening, lecithin, and salt.
Okay.
Okay. And then the other materials is vanilla and also sugar. We put them together in here and then we mix it for 1.5 hours. Okay. The next step after 1.5 hours is we need to add the milk, full cream powder, and also the whey powder.
The whey powder.
Yeah. After that, we mix them for 1 hour with circulations. So this is the ball mill machines, right? And then usually in the ball mill machine there is a circulation function in the ball mill, so that's why your material or your raw material can be mixed very well, yeah? Very well, Aditya. Okay. The next step is we're gonna mix the cocoa powder and also the milk powder together, and then we add the flavor cocoa, right? And then we're gonna mix them for 1.5 hour with circulation again, Aditya.
All right, Arif.
Yeah.
Before you mention about the grinding process.
Yeah.
So if we talk about grinding, there will be frictions inside of the machine.
Yes, that is.
So how can we prevent this product is not contaminated with the residue of the grinding process or after the frictions that it has happened in the machines? How can we ensure for that?
Yes, alright Aditya, this is a good question actually. Yeah, I agree with you that inside of the ball mill there is a grinding process. When there is a grinding process, in order to make the product is smoother, in order to reach the requirement that we want, there is a particle, let's say there is a steel ball inside, right? And during the grinding process, also there is a possibility of that steel powder become looser little bit by little, right? So that's the size of the steel ball will be smaller
and reduced,
right? And where is the rest of the steel powder itself, right? So for sure they will be coming out with the product. Okay, in here I would like to say that for you also, our viewers, that when you want to buy your machine, please check again the qualification of your machine suppliers. They should be qualified with the food safety certification in here. Because in ball mill machine, in order to prevent the contaminations of the product from the steel materials, there will be magnetic device on the ball mill machine itself, Aditya. So when the steel powder is coming out, right, in the piping, so you should have a magnetic device on the machine in order to catch that steel powder. So that's why when the final product is ready, the product will not be contaminated with this steel powder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the magnetic trap will be located in the outlet of the machines.
Yeah, basically the good qualification for the magnetic device itself will be located in the between of the output and also the circulations.
Output and the circulations.
Yeah, so this magnetic device will be able to have to function in here during the circulation and also during the output, Aditya. Yeah, so the filtration is already there during the circulation, and in order to make sure the product is clean enough from the contamination of the steel powder, so when we
should place in the output.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, Arif, this is very informative and very insightful.
Yeah.
To talk about the wafer stick.
Yes.
And I hope this information can be useful also for our viewers.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for watching. See us in the next videos. Ciao.